All right, listen, what's going on, people? Facebook, we're back 2020, right? It was a short vacation. We're back to work. We're back again. You know, here, My Credit Funding, we're all about giving you information. So today we're going to talk about how to get your free annual credit report with Equifax and TransUnion. Listen, every year you are entitled to a free credit report. So that's why, right, this year, make it a priority for you to go get your free credit report with Equifax and TransUnion. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Just got to make sure here that I am live, right? I'm live on Facebook, Instagram, and Facebook and all that good stuff. Okay, so listen, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, podcaster. If you're watching us for the first time, listen, I think the link is somewhere above. You can watch our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, because this year we're going to go in. We're going to talk about credit bureaus, credit report, collection agency, how to improve your credit report, how to talk to these collection agency. Listen, if you're out there, if you're listening to this, right, you probably already have a collection account, or you have an account that's about to go to collection. So you got to know how to talk to your collectors, your creditors, collection agency, right? That's one thing that you want to avoid is an account going to collection. So you want to make sure you catch that before your credit card company or your financial institution sends your account, or before they sell it to a third-party collection agency. Because once it goes to a third-party collection agency, now you got to deal with a collection agency, right? So now your financial institution sells that account. So that's why it's important to understand credit, right? You got to know credit education, because there's more to credit than just the credit score. There's your credit report, because your credit report gives you a breakdown of what's going on your credit, on your credit profile. So in terms of, right, if there's any collection account, if there's any charge off. So listen, this year, as I mentioned, is 2020. We're back. For those of you that had that vacation, some of us had a vacation, short vacation, but listen, we're back again. It's 2020. It's time to get back to work. So listen, this year, make it a priority, go get your free credit report with Equifax and TransUnion, man. It's free, people. What are you guys doing, right? It doesn't cost you anything to get your free credit report. Let me bring it up here, right? All right, let me see if I can show you how it works, right? So if you are watching us for the first time, listen, subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we're talking a lot about credit, how to help you improve your credit and so on. So listen, this year, every year you are entitled to get a free credit report with both Equifax and TransUnion. So right now I'm on the Equifax website. So if you go on the Equifax website, you see here, get your free credit report. People, you see that? You can get your free credit report, right? So if you're watching this, right, there's no reason why you should not be checking your credit report for free, right? So go to the TransUnion website and the Equifax website. So this is how you do it. Now, there is different ways to doing it. You can go online, you can print the form, right? But the easiest way is to see if you can call them and then just get your free credit report for free. So listen, that's TransUnion right there. I mean, that's Equifax, right? So this your free credit report. All right, let me go here. Right now, your credit report does not include your credit score, so you got to keep that in mind. It just includes your credit report, right? So listen, also you can also dispute items, man. Listen, people, if you're watching this, you got to be taking action. Don't just be watching this. Go on Equifax and check your credit for free. You are entitled to a free credit report every year. You can also dispute items on your credit report for free, right? So you see here now. Here's one thing. Do not use the online dispute form, right? You see here, don't use this. You got to print it out, because that's the most effective way to check your credit. As you can see here, you have two options to submit a dispute on your Equifax report for free. You can do the online submission, you can mail it, right? Use the mailing option, right? Because the mailing option, it's more effective, because you can print the form, certify, mail it, and send it to the credit bureau so they can, it's much easier lightweight. But listen, people, 2020, 2021, right? You got to be on top of your credit, man. In this credit driven society, right? You got to be on top of your credit. There's resources out here for you to check your free credit report for free, right? If you haven't checked your credit report in years, listen, what are you doing? Go and check your credit report for free, right? As you can see here, right, there is the option. As I mentioned, there's the option. Go to Equifax and go to TransUnion. You can get your free credit report and see what's going on in your credit. Now, as I mentioned, there's two ways of doing it, right? You can do the mail or you can do it online. The most effective way so you can get it's to do the mail it. So print out the form and send it now. Certified mail it. Very important that you certified mail that, right? Why? Because listen, Equifax and TransUnion, they get information on a regular basis, right? So a lot of people go online to submit credit report. Now, usually what happens is this: if you submit it online, because it's a software that takes your information. So what you want to do is you want to print it and send it to them. So that way you get somebody that will actually look at the credit report, because the online form, as I mentioned, right, it's just the software. So if you do the online form, there's a possibility that your dispute might not even, nobody might even see it. So that's why you want to print it so that they can see it, right? And that way you can also certify mail it, so that way you know that somebody's actually signing for it. So that's what we're talking about, people. Listen, this year, get your free credit report. It is free to get your credit report, man. I don't know why nobody's telling you this, right? Get your free credit report for free at Equifax and TransUnion, right? As you can see here. So let me go back here once again so you can see. So you see, this is the Equifax, because remember, there's two credit bureaus in Canada, Equifax and TransUnion. So right now, I am showing you the Equifax website, right? So listen, if you're on Instagram, you can go to our YouTube channel or Facebook channel, right? If you want to see what I'm doing on the screen, and people on the podcast, same thing. But we're talking about getting your free annual credit report. Listen, we live in a credit-driven society, right? Everything is going to be based on your credit. Your car premium or your car insurance is based on your credit. Your mortgage interest rate is based on your mortgage interest rate is based on your credit. When you're buying a car, is based on your credit. When you're getting a business loan or any personal loan, is based on your credit. When you're getting a job, is based on your credit, right? You cannot avoid it, right? So you might as well just, go and check your credit report, people. Go and check it. It is free, right? It is free. So that's why here at My Credit Funding, we are a credit education company. We are a educational consultant company. We want to help you understand your personal credit, understand your because you got to understand what goes into your personal credit, right? Let me see if I can bring in, let's see here, right? So let me bring this up, right? Listen, this is what we talk about here on My Credit Funding: personal credit, business model, and digital marketing. Especially if you want to start a business, right? If you're starting a business at all, right, you want to start a business by understanding how your personal credit works, because once your personal credit is intact, it is much easier for you to get funding in the future, right? For your business, for your project, for real estate, whatever it is that you want to do. Once you understand how personal credit works, it's easy to access capital from the banks, from financial institutions, and so on. So it starts with you understanding how your personal credit works. And for you to understand how your personal credit works, you got to get you your free credit report, right? As you can see here, Equifax, get your free credit report here. See? Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, you can see it here. So you can get your free credit report with both Equifax and TransUnion. And also you can dispute any item on your credit report as well, right? So you can get your free credit report, and you can also submit you can dispute any item. So let's see here. So there, the instruction is there. The form is there, right? On how to get your free credit report with Equifax and TransUnion and Equifax and TransUnion. So listen, if you're watching this, that's what you got to do. Go get you your free credit report, right? With Equifax and TransUnion, because listen, moving forward, as I mentioned, we live in a credit-driven society, right? So everything is based on your credit. So listen, sooner or later, you're going to have to improve your credit. You're going to have to check your credit, whether it's when you're buying a house or when you're buying a car or when you're going to have to check your credit, people. So you might as well just go and get your free credit report. Every year you are entitled to a free credit report with TransUnion and Equifax, right? So that's what we're talking about. Listen, right? If you're watching this, listen, hit subscribe to our YouTube channel, because this year I'm going to go really in depth We're going to talk about credit bureaus, how to deal with credit bureaus, right? As I just showed you. We're going to talk about collection, how to deal with collection agency. A lot of people are out here, they have collection accounts on their credit bureaus and they don't know how to deal with it. That's what I'm going to be talking about this year. That's why you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel or Facebook channel, whatever you're watching this from. I think the link is somewhere there because I'm going to be putting out a lot of video on how to deal with collection agency. So if you have a collection account, right, I'm going to show you some strategy on how to talk to these collection agencies because listen, collection agencies, they are using your credit information against you, right? When I was working in accounts receivable and collection, what we used to do is this: when somebody owes the bank, when somebody owes a financial institution money, we use their credit information against them, right? Whether it's to put a lien on their house, whether it's to, right, you're about to buy a house. Well, listen, boom, we put a collection account on your credit profile. So now your credit score just drops. So collectors, people use your credit information against you. So that's why you want to check your credit report. So that way you can start the improving, you can start the process of improving it yourself, right? Because here at My Credit Funding, right, we are a credit education company. We help you to understand how your personal credit works, right? We give you the information, the knowledge, we empower you. We give you all the tools, we give you the knowledge, we give you the information, we give you the insight so you can improve your credit on your own. So you can start understanding how to negotiate with collection agencies, right? So you can start to understand how to negotiate with banks when you want to get funding, when you want to get loans, right? Because this year, if you want to start a business, right, it is much easier to get funding or to get credit, to get loans, to get business credit if your personal credit is intact, right? So if your personal credit is positioned properly, it's easy to get funding. It's easy to get loans, right? It's easy to get credit, right? Like it's really that easy, right? But it's all based on your personal credit, right? It's all based on you understanding how to optimize, right? You got to know how to optimize your personal credit for business funding. So that's why we here at My Credit Funding, that's what we talk about. We talk about personal credit, we talk about business credit, we talk about business model and digital marketing. Why? Because we want to help you, because you got to get the right information, right? Because there's too much information out here. You got to make sure you got to get the right information from the right source so you can start. Because listen, credit is very complicated. People make credit very, very complicated. That's why a lot of people don't like to check their credit report, because they don't want to know what's going to be on the credit report. But listen, right? Go get your free credit report with Equifax and TransUnion, people. It's free, right? It is free to get it. Let me see if I can bring that there. Listen, if you go to TransUnion, right, go to Equifax, you can get you a free credit report and you can start disputing any items on your credit report. So this year, that's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about how to deal with credit bureaus, right? I'm going to give you some insight. I'm going to give you some knowledge, some information when it comes to credit bureaus, right? Because listen, one thing you got to know is this: credit bureaus, they're not here to protect you. They are here to serve the lenders. They're here to serve the financial institution. They're here to serve the banks. They're here to serve anybody that wants to pull your information before they can give you credit. So credit bureaus, they're not your friend, people. Credit bureaus are here to serve the lenders. So it is within your best interest for you to check your own credit report, to check your own credit profile, because, right, there's something that you have to know. It's called the credit merge, right? I've spoken about this in the past. Listen, right? If you have a very common name, right, and you live in a complex building or you live in an apartment, let's say your name is John Smith. That's the common name. If you live in a condominium or an apartment building that has the same postal code, that has the same address, and there's another John Smith there, right? So let's say your name is John A. Smith and there's another John B. Smith, right? Usually what ends up happening is this: because you're in the same postal code, same address, you could be a victim of a credit merge, which means the credit bureaus will take your information and they will merge it with someone else that lives in that same complex building. Now, the credit bureaus, they're now going to call you to verify your identity, right? That's why it is your responsibility, people. It is up to you, because the credit bureaus, they're not here to serve you. You got to keep that. You got to remember that the credit bureaus are not here to serve you. Equifax and TransUnion, they are here to serve the lender, right? So somebody can steal your identity and apply for credit under your name, and you end up getting a bunch of inquiries, right, in your credit profile. All right. You may not care, but listen, when it comes time for you to buy a house, when it comes time for you to refinance your house, when the time comes for you to get a car loan or a mortgage loan, whatever it is, when the banks, when they check your credit and they see that there's a bunch of inquiries on your credit report, well, guess what? You might get declined. That's why you want to go and check your credit report. Listen, this year, right? It's all about getting the right information. So if you go to Equifax, right, you can get your free credit report, and you can also dispute any information. You have the right to dispute any information from the credit bureau. It is within your right. It is legally, it is within your right. You can dispute any information that does not make sense on your credit report. All right. Listen, people, this year, right, I'm gonna be going in. I'm gonna be giving you some insights in terms of what credit bureaus do. The credit bureaus, they sell your information to lenders. They sell your information to, listen, have you ever noticed how you got to check your junk mail, right? If you're always getting these emails from these people that are trying to sell you bad credit, or they're trying to provide you with a loan because you have bad credit, guess what? They are getting that information from the credit bureau. So if you keep getting these emails, oh, do you have bad credit? Loans for bad credit, loans for people with loans with people with bad credit. If you keep getting these emails, it means that the credit bureaus are selling your information to third-party companies. So which means your credit is bad, right? Because see, what happens is this, right? The credit bureaus, they group everybody in what we call, or what they call, a risk band, right? So a risk band is where your credit score falls in. So let's say, for example, if your credit score is below 500, then you are in a poor credit score risk band, right? So they will take that information, they will sell it to vendors, they will sell it to financial institutions that offer that want to give you loan with bad credit, or that they want to give you some high interest rate on credit cards. So that's why, right, you get all these emails about bad credit loans, bad credit cards, and all that stuff. That means the credit bureaus is selling your information, right? Another thing that you got to know is this: the credit bureaus, they have this marketing campaign they call Neighborhood Watch. What they do is, credit bureaus, they know the credit score of every neighborhood. They know the credit score of every postal code of every street, right? So when they want to sell your information to a mortgage lender, to a mortgage company that are looking for prospect, right? So they know credit score of every neighborhood, of every street, of every address, right? So that's why the credit bureaus, they're not your friend. They are there to serve the lenders. They're there to serve the financial institution. That's why it is difficult for you to understand what's on your credit report. Why? Because credit report was not meant for consumers to understand, right? It was not meant for you to understand. It was meant for lenders, right? Credit report was meant for lenders to understand. So that's why you want to understand how credit works, what impacts your credit, what lowers your credit score, how to deal with collection agency, how to dispute items, how to dispute any inaccuracy on your credit report. So anything, right? So you also got to know, listen, there's a time limit in terms of how long information can stay on your credit report. If that information passes the limit, then you have the right to dispute it, but you got to know how to do it, right? So that's why I just showed you here that if you go to the Equifax and the TransUnion website, you can dispute pretty much any item there, right? See here, dispute something on your Equifax credit report. So you can pretty much dispute anything, but you got to know what it is that you want to dispute, right? Because as I mentioned, there is time limits in terms of how long information can stay on your credit report. It's usually 6 to 7 years. After 6 to 7 years, it usually just falls off, right? But that's why you want to check your credit report, because there might be some information that's still in there that's still reporting, right? You want to check it, right? This year, you are entitled to a free credit report every year. This is a new year. It's 2020, people. Go get you your free credit report with both Equifax and TransUnion. Because listen, right? We're going into a society where everything is going to be based on credit. Everything's going to be based on the, digital, right? Because right now, with everything that's going on, they're trying to get rid of cash. They're trying to minimize the amount of cash that's in circulation. So there's going to be a lot of credit transaction, right? Debit transaction. So you want to be in the position where if you want to start a business, your credit is right, your credit is in position, so you can get you a business loan. You can get you some business credit card. You can get you some business lines of credit, start your business, right? It's easy to get it once you understand how your personal credit works. So that's what we're here to teach you. We're here to teach you, people. We're here to teach. We're here to empower you on personal credit, business model, digital marketing. So if you want to know more about personal credit, right, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're putting out information. We're putting out videos every week to help you to improve your credit. We talk about credit score. We talk about what impacts your credit score. We talk about how to deal with collection agency. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Facebook. Like our Facebook so you don't miss out any content, because you're this year, make it a priority for you, right? To check your credit report for free. It doesn't cost you anything. The thing is free. It is free 99. All right? It is there, people. Why are you not checking your credit report for free, right? All right. So that's what's happening, right? So as I mentioned, it's back to work, quick vacation, but now we got to get back to putting out some more information. So as I mentioned before, right, on this channel, if you're watching for the first time, we talk a lot about personal credit. We talk about business credit. We talk about business model. And we talk about digital marketing, right? We want to help you on your credit journey, because see, if you go on YouTube, you're going to get a lot of information about credit, but a lot of this information, it's coming from the States. It's coming from people in the States. I'm giving you information from a Canadian perspective, right? Because remember, in Canada, you have 2 credit bureaus, Equifax and TransUnion, right? In the state, is about 3, right? So the information that I'm giving you, right, it's, specifically if you're in Canada, if you're in North America, US, it also applies to you. But if you're in Canada, this one really hits home, right? So that's why we're here to help you, to empower you, to give you the skills, the knowledge that you need, right? Now, listen, the website is, we also have our website is up. So once you've checked your credit with Equifax and TransUnion and you need to understand what's on your credit report, you can always book a free consultation with us at My Credit Funding. The website is there, so we can give you a breakdown of what makes up a credit report, right? Because remember, your credit report is free, but your credit score is not free. So you're going to have to pay to get your credit score, right? Because listen, credit score is what lenders use to approve you for loans, for mortgages, to see what kind of premium they're going to give you. So you want to be able to understand how your credit score works. It is within your best interest to understand how your credit score works. All right. Listen, this year, it's going to be a lot education. It's going to be a lot of information, but it's going to be information that is going to empower you, information that's going to lead to action. Like right now, if you're watching this, as I mentioned, every year you are entitled to a free credit report from both Equifax and TransUnion. So if you're watching this, then listen, what you need to do is you need to go on the Equifax website, equifax.ca, and get you your free credit report. You see here, it says here, get my free credit report. And once you check your credit report, then you can dispute any information that's in your credit report. So there is a action item right there for you people, right? Check your credit report and begin to dispute your credit information for free with Equifax and TransUnion. All right. So Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, right? That's what's going on. This year is going to be a lot of education. You can also listen to a podcast. We're on My Credit Funding on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, on most, we're everywhere, right? We're everywhere because it's all about positioning, right? As I mentioned earlier, maybe, or you might not be in the position right now to get credit, right? Because you're not thinking about it. But eventually, along the line, you're going to be thinking about either buying a house, refinancing your house, buying a car, starting a business, getting a personal loan, right? So that's why you want to start positioning your credit now, right? Positioning it now, because it takes time to build credit, right? The sooner you start with credit, because it's all about, let me see if I can bring this here, right? So you see this here? This is what you call it, your FICO score. You got to know what your FICO score is. This is how your credit score is calculated based on the amount that you owe, which is makes up 30%, right? And based on your payment history, which is made up, which is about 30% of your score. 10% is based on credit mix, so the different types of credit that you have, whether it's a car loan, whether it's an installment loan, revolving credit, mortgages, and all that stuff. And then 15% of your credit score is calculated based on credit history. So the longer you've had credit, the better it is, people, right? See what I'm saying? Some of you, listen, this information that I'm telling you, the sooner you understand how credit works, start managing it wisely, because that's what, see, it's all about managing your credit cards, your credit products wisely. So that way you can build a credit history with financial institutions, so that when you are ready to make a serious financial move, whether it's to buy property, real estate, start a business, and you need a large, substantial product like a loan or a line of credit, right? You already have that credit history. So that's why it is important that you start building credit as soon as possible. Not only building credit, but understanding how credit works, managing your credit, getting your credit education from us. That's why you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The link is somewhere above. Follow us on our Instagram channel, or follow us on our Facebook channel. Listen to our podcast. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're on all major podcasting platforms. Position yourself and optimize your credit profile for future funding. So that way, when you are ready to get funding in the future, then you know. You do not want to be in a situation whereby you're about to buy a house, the house is about to close, and then you find out that there's a collection account on your credit profile, and you don't know how to get rid of it. So that's why you want to understand, because listen, even after you pay your collection account, that information does not come out right away. There's a way to do it. There's the wrong way to do it. And there's the right way to do it. So you got to understand what is the right way to pay off a collection account, because even if you pay off a collection account, that could reset itself, which means you can start the reset process all over again. Because listen, when a negative information gets sent to your credit report, it usually stays there 6 to 7 years. So let's say if there's a collection account that was there for 6 years, right? It had one more year for it to fall off, and then you end up paying it. Now it just resetted itself to another 7 years. So that's why you got to understand how credit works, how to negotiate with this credit, with credit bureaus, so that way you don't fall into the trap whereby you end up paying a collection account, but the collection account is still reporting on your credit bureau. Because the key is to get the collection account off. You want to pay it, but you want to pay it so that it can be deleted from your credit report. Because once you pay it, if you don't do it properly, it could restart the clock again. So which means it will stay there for another 7 years. So you want to make sure you know what you're doing. You want to get the credit, get credit education, get credit understanding. So that's what we're here. We at My Credit Funding, that's what we talk about. We're helping you on your personal credit. We're helping you build business credit. We're helping you build business models and so on. So listen, right? And we're here to answer any questions that you may have about credit, about lending, about collections, about credit bureaus. So if you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, listen, you can ask us questions. If you want to know something about credit, you can visit our website. Your credit education is important. We live in a credit-driven society whereby very soon everything's going to be built, based on your credit. As I mentioned, you can lose a job just by having bad credit, right? You can miss an opportunity just by having bad credit. So understanding how to fix, how to improve your credit becomes a very critical skill set to have, right? So I'm out. I'm going to see you all on the next video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Instagram channel, whatever you're watching this from, so you can get your credit education and begin to understand how to build your credit, how to improve your credit, how to optimize your credit, how to get business funding, how to optimize your personal credit to get business funding. And as I said, this year, every year, you are entitled to a free credit report. So listen, don't watch and listen. After watching this, after listening to this, people, go on Equifax and TransUnion and go get you your free credit report. All right. So that's it for me. All right. It's the new year, 2021. Some of us, we are back to work. giving you that knowledge, giving you that information. All right, listen, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, podcast, Spotify. I'm out. I will see you all on the next video.